What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Kilo Loco, and today I'm going to be trying something a little bit different. I'm going to do a speed run where I see how fast I can create three different types of apps and kind of get some of the actual functionality working. Now, obviously, these aren't full-blown apps, and I'm going to be aiming to do this all in less than an hour. I'm actually aiming to do it in about 30 minutes or so, but I think a realistic number will probably be 45 minutes, but nevertheless less than an hour. So the different apps I'm going to be trying to create is, the first one is going to be a note-taking app. This was like the very first type of app that I've released in the App Store, so I thought it'd be a good thing to do and see how fast I can do it now. The second one will be like a global chat app, just being able to sign in as a user, like sign in. It's going to be a fake sign in, but you sign in as a user, you post a message, and then anybody that is signed in can see it. And then the last one is going to be a New Year's resolution app. At the time of recording, 2021 is almost here, and I think that a New Year's resolution app is just like on point. So those are the three different apps that we're going to be creating today. I'm going to see how fast I can build out just the basic functionality of each of those. And then as you can see here, I do have the projects created, but I haven't done anything. So we're just working with a content view in each of those different projects. I also have my terminal set up because I'm going to actually be using the terminal quite a bit. And I have each of the directories open. So the first one's going to be the note-taking app, quick note. Second one, global chat. Last one, high resolution. So then we're going to be working with AWS Amplify. This is what's going to be able to like kind of speed me through the processes, because I'm going to actually be building the models with the new admin UI that's available through Amplify. I'm going to be using sandbox.amplifyapp.com, and you're going to see how that kind of works for me. So yeah, with all that said, let's go ahead and get a timer going. So let's go ahead and get a timer. I'm going to actually do a stopwatch, and let's start now. All right, so we're off to the races. So first things first, let's head over to Amplify. I am going to get started. We'll do data, blank schema, create new schema. Now I will create a new model. It's going to be a note. And the note is just going to have a body and, let's say, a creation date, something like that. Oh, and let's also make sure that these fields are required. So it is required. And the creation date is going to be of type AWS datetime. So we have that, and I think that's all we really need for the note-taking app. So we'll just go ahead and speed through this. Next, I already have Amplify installed, so I just need a pull. And then I'll also need to do pod init. So let's head back over to the terminal. We're going to run this Amplify pull real quick, and that's going to pull the note model that I just created. And then what we need to do is we need to do pod init like that. Open up the pod file, and we need to make sure that we have a platform set to iOS 14.0. We're going to go down to line 9, and there is some stuff that we need to copy, the Amplify plugins. So let's go ahead and add that in as well. We're going to save that and do pod install repo update. Let's see what else is next. It has that pod install. Then I just need to simply open the project and then copy this in here. So let's go back over. We should be done. Yep. So then we just need to open the project, and I'm going to actually close out this one because it's going to open up the XC workspace for us. And let's make sure that this is formatted correctly so that it's taking up a good amount of the screen. We'll open up quick note, not this one, but this one. And it gave us an initializer that will install data store, the Amplify data store. We just need to make sure that we're importing Amplify. It doesn't look like we're going to get a whole lot of help from autocomplete, so that kind of sucks. Amplify plugins. Let's make sure that we are on our iPhone 12. Let's give that a run. While that's running, because you know it's going to take a bit, let's go ahead and test locally. So as you can see, we can create a new note with this, and we can query with this. So I'll create, let's go over to the content view while this is still building out, and we don't need this. We don't need so much space over here. First things first, I need to create a view model. Extension, what failed? Okay, something failed, something failed. Oh, you know what we need to do is we also need to get the Amplify models that were generated for us. So let's go ahead and add those. So add files, and I don't know why it does that, but yeah. So Amplify generated models, and we'll just add these three right here like this. And we're gonna put them into our actual app like that. Let's run it again. We should, well, now it's gonna crash because I have this extension right here, but that's okay. Content view, I'm going to create a class, which is gonna be called view model. And it's gonna be an observable object like that. And it's going to have a published property. Let's just do it. Let's leave it right there so that we can get stuff building. I want to make sure that everything's working before I keep moving forward. Build succeeded. Awesome. And let's see. We should also get something in our logs that says Amplify initialized, and that will be a signal to us that things are starting to work. Amplify. So initialized Amplify, looking good. And now let's think. So the first thing that we want to do is we want to be able to see all the notes that we've created. So let's go ahead and build out a list, and we're going to put this, actually let's do a navigation view like that. And we will have a scroll view. Oh no, it's really not gonna give me any help here. Okay, scroll view, and inside of the scroll view we're going to have a lazy V stack. Wow. Okay. And then we're gonna have a for each here on our models. So in here we're gonna be showing all of our notes. So let's go ahead and have a published property. Var notes is equal to an array of note like that, and we need to make sure that note, this is all going to work. It's just Xcode does not like me at the moment, and that's unfortunate. So we're going to need to have an extension on our note. So note plus extensions, and we'll say extension note, and it's going to be identifiable. And it already has an ID, so there's no problems there. Then what we can do is we can have an instance of our view model, which will be a state object like that, var view model like this, view model like that. And now we can say view model dot notes like this, and then we'll have a note in like that. So then what we can do is we can show a list, or what is it, just going to be text? Just do text with the note and the note body, right? So we'll just show the whole entire note whenever we're doing it, and then we'll also throw in a divider like that, and we'll wrap this stuff in a V stack. So let's see. Okay, so let's see if we could get previews going. I don't think that we will be able to, but that's okay. Let's start working on a function that's going to get notes. and we will use amplify dot data store dot query, and we're going to get all the note types. We'll have a result in. We'll do and catch, print the error like that. We'll say let notes is equal to result dot get like that, and this is a throwing function, so we'll have to say try. We'll say dispatch queue because we need to return to the main thread, and we're going to say self dot notes is equal to notes like this. So then what we're going to do is on up here, we'll just go ahead and call perform. So on up here, and perform view model dot get notes like this. Yeah, I didn't think anything would show up. It's okay because we don't have a view model to provide it. Okay, so that's all right. So we're gonna get all the notes back and then set them to this notes, at which point this is going to be displaying those notes. So let's think. Is that all I need to do? Yeah, I think so. Let's also wrap this in a Z stack because I need a button to create a new note. So what we'll do is we'll do a Z stack like this. We'll push this forward. We're going to have a button, or yeah, what is it? Let's see, a button. Is it a button or is it an image? It's a button. A button that is just going to say save, or we'll do a plus. No, we'll do a button that is going to what? Action. We need to display compose note. So at published var is compose note visible. Let's get to false. So we'll do view model dot is compose note visible equal to true, like that. And then the image will be system name with a plus, like that. We are going to do font dot large title, and we'll add some padding to it. We'll say foreground is going to be white and background will be color dot purple, like that. And then we are going to clip shape circle like that. All right, so if I can get a little bit of a preview, where are we at on time? Oh my goodness, we're already at the 11-minute mark and we still haven't got it going. So let's see if we could get the circle showing. It should be right there in the middle. What I'm going to do is I'm going to switch up the alignment to be bottom trailing. I think that's an option. And I think this should be good. Lastly, what we need to do is we need to just have a navigation. No, is it this one? The Z stack. We need to make sure it's on the Z stack. Oh, okay, that's probably why. Z stack, and what we're going to do. Oh, I'll put some padding on that. So padding, so that it's not touching the bottom. Z stack navigation title is going to be notes. Then what we'll do is we are going to have a sheet come up. Is presented is going to be based off of our view model, and is compose note visible. And if it is, then what we're going to do is we'll have a new sheet come up, which is going to just be a text editor where we have text, which will say at publish var note text is equal to just an empty string like that. Then what we can do is we could do view model dot note text like that. And we also will need a save button, so we'll do a Z stack again like that. We'll also set the alignment to be bottom right, alignment on bottom trailing like that. And we'll have another button, but this one's just going to say save. The action that it will be performing is creating a new note. So from create note, and I think we can go back over here to the create like that, paste it in. The note body will be the note text like this. The time will be, I think we can initialize this with a date, which is right now. All right, so then we're able to save that. And then what we'll do is we will get notes. We'll just call get notes. So self.get notes like so. And yeah, there might be a retain cycle in there, but that's okay. All right, so we'll save and we'll perform, or the action, I think the action is view model dot create note like that. I think that'll do it. So let's go ahead and run that and see if we can get things working or not. I'm not sure. Oh man. Okay, so we have no notes right now. We press this, a new thing comes up. We tap on it, we're able, this is my first note. And we have the save button. It's a little bit ugly. It doesn't dismiss, but if we pull down, we can see that it's there. That's good. The formatting's a little bit ugly, but I think I'm gonna leave it at that. What did I wanna do? I just wanted to make sure that I dismissed. So when a note is saved, I'm also gonna say self.isComposeVisible, is compose visible, and that's gonna be the false. So let's go ahead and try it again. Also, we need to make sure that our note is still saved from last time. Oh, it is. Okay, so this, let's tap on it first. This is ugly, but it works. Like that. We'll hit save. It goes away. This is ugly, but it works. Bam, right there. That's a notes app. All right, so we're done with that. That's one down. Let's take a look at our timer. 16 minutes. So it does look like we might be able to get these things done maybe in 45 minutes. Sandbox Amplify app.com. So let's go ahead and start again. Next, we're going to create a chat app. Let's go ahead and do data, blank schema, model. So we're going to have a user, which is going to have a username. The username is required. And I think that's going to be it for the user. We're not going to do anything too fancy. And then we'll have a message. A message will have a body. This is also required. We're going to have Add a field. Let's see. We don't really need creation date. We normally would, but I don't think I'm going to do it. I'm going to do author username like that, and that's also required. So then we'll be able to see the username of that author, and then we'll also be able to see the body of the thing. Is that it? I think that's it. Let's go ahead and go next. Okay, so we have that. We're gonna have to do this again. So let's go ahead and close this, and we're gonna run the same thing. We're gonna pull this new sandbox down. It's going to give us our user and our message. From there, let me see next. All right, so then we have to do this over here in the pod init. So we'll do pod init. Already pod file. Oh yeah. Okay. Why is this stuff here? Okay, so there's a pod file. Okay, so vim pod file. What is happening? Okay, so let's remove whatever pod file is in there. ls vim or pod init. Alright, vim pod file. Oh no. Okay, so I don't know why this is happening. So what we're going to do is we're going to create a completely new directory. What a setback. Okay, that's fine. New project and chatty. All right, so we'll do this in speed run. That's fine. I can change directory to chatty, and we can do well, first we need to do Amplify pull. I think this is the sandbox that we just pulled, right? Oh boy, F9. It ends with F9. F9, yeah, that's the right one. So then we do pod init vim pod file. All right, so and we are going to do that. Paste that here. Pod install repo update like that. You know, sometimes things just happen and you gotta improvise, but it's okay. All right, so Z, this should already be closed, so we should be getting the workspace. It was not closed because I just made it. Let's try that again. And here we go. Let's go. All right. We need to go into the app. We need to, I don't even know what we just copied. The initializer, that works. So then we need to also import Amplify. Import Amplify plugins like that. I'm not going to forget this time. We need to add in those files that were generated for us, our models. So let's see, Amplify, generated models, all of these. Add. All right. So we're going to actually need to have the user log in before they can start creating messages. So we'll create a login view. Our content view will just be our login view. So we're going to have a text. Well, let's go ahead and do a vstack like that. We're going to have a text field like that. And we need a view model. So why is this so big? That's what she said. Okay, extension, content view. Okay, content view, we need to create the view model, observable object, and we're going to have at published var, and then this is going to be the username. Alright, so then what we can do is we need to have username. That's going to be the placeholder. The text is going to be view model, which we don't have an instance of. Let's go ahead and add in an instance of that by doing at state object var. I just realized I don't need to have a view model. I'm just used to doing it this way, but okay, that's fine. View model. And we can do view model dot username like that. This should work, I believe. Observable object like that. Okay, so we have that. This needs to add binding like this, and then we need to have a button that says login. We're gonna keep it really ugly this time. No formatting. So when we log in, what we actually want to do is we want to pass the user. So we'll actually grab a user and we'll pass it back as a callback. So let's go ahead and have did provide user equal to user like that void. So we'll use that callback, which means that we actually need to create and query the user. So what is this? No, this is incorrect. It's a colon like that. So whenever we create this, we'll do it like that. Did provide user like that in. So now what we need to do is we need to be able to look up the user that puts in their name. We need to query that, and if it doesn't exist, then we need to create it. So func login, we'll just have it called login, and we'll do amplify. And I could probably save a little bit of time just by going to here. We'll do user, and we need to query. So copy that. Query. All right. So we do the query on the user. We need to import amplify at the top. Like that. All right. So if we get a success, oh, actually we need a predicate. So where user.keys, come on, Kyle, dot username is equal to username. So this is going to get back that user that we want. All right. So then this would be a single item. This would be a user. And actually, is it user? It's an array of users. So we just want the first one. So users. If let user is equal to users dot first, then what we'll do is we'll have a did provide user our completion. We'll just do completion, and we'll say we're going to provide a user void. All right, so then we can do completion, and we'll say this user, we're passing that user. If there is no user, then we need to create that user, and we'll just do it right there. It's going to be nice and ugly, but hey, what can you do? And we actually need to make sure that this is on the main thread.main.async. All right. Else. And let's see. create a user. So let's go ahead and create one like that. We'll say new user like this. All right, username will be self.username. Yes, I know, retain cycles, but whatever. New user. Then we'll have created user. Created user like that. And we will simply pass that up. Completion. Created user like that. Okay. Completion. What are you talking about? Is this not going to work? Please work. Let's see. Escaping closure. Oh, okay. Hold on. Right here. At escaping. There we go. That should solve those problems. All right. So essentially what we did was we queried a user, then we created that user. If it doesn't exist, model dot login. The completion will be did provide user like that. I think that should work. Maybe. This is expecting user void. Okay. Maybe missing it. So we'll do view model dot login and then did provide user like that. Okay, that works. So let's go ahead and go back over to our app object, and when we log in, we have a user. We have a user in like that, and what we'll do is we'll have an at state object or state at state, I think, var user is of type optional user like that, and then we'll say self.user is equal to user, and then we'll say if let current user is equal to user, else. All right, so if there is a user here, then we can say signed in. Let's say this is going to be our messages view. So new file, Swift file, messages view, like that. And we are going to have a navigation view, like, oh, come on. Navigation view like that. We have a Z stack because we are going to need to have, is it a Z stack? I can't remember. Let's see. Would it be better with a V stack? No, let's do, I don't know. I think it's better with a V stack. I think a V stack will work. So what we want to do is we want to have a list, and then we want to have a text field. So first we need to have the scroll view like that. Then we need to have the lazy V stack. Then we need to have a for each. Just like we did with the notes, we need to add an extension on our messages. So we're going to do a new Swift file like that, and message plus extensions like that. All right, so then what we'll do is we'll say extension message identifiable like that. Then we can go back over here. We can say we also are going to once again need a view model, so extension on our messages view. We'll just do class and we'll say view model observable object. This is going to be at published var messages and message like that, and we'll be able to say at state object is equal, or var view model is equal to view model like that. We'll say view model dot messages. Then we have a message in each. So then, yeah, that will work. So if we have, all right, let's just keep going. We need to get the messages. So func get messages like this, and we can do that real easy right here. And we're actually not going to use data store. We're going to be using API for this because we want real-time updates. So we'll do Amplify, and we don't have access to Amplify, so let's import that. Amplify.api.query request, and then list, and we want message.self, and we should get a result like this. Result in do catch print error let messages equals try result dot get like that. We'll say self dot messages is equal to messages. We need to wrap that in dispatch queue main async. This. Okay. So we have the messages being updated or queried. Oh, you know what? It's double wrapped. We have to do it twice. Yeah, I think that's going to do it for the get messages. Now we need to create a message func create message. Oh, you know what? This is not gonna work with API. I have to do it with because in order to use API, you actually have to deploy. So since that takes around 5 to 10 minutes to deploy, I am going to use this. I am going to use it. Dang it. Okay. That just set me back like 5 minutes, huh? Okay, so we'll say message, and then we need to have some type of message text at published var message text, and that's going to be equal to this, and we will need an environment object. Do we want to make it an environment object? I don't think so. We'll just insert the user. So let current user be of type user. Then we'll have func attach user. I don't know. Attach user, and it'll be of type user. And we'll have a property called user right here, which is going to be of type user like this, and we'll say self.user is equal to user like that, and we just need to make sure that we call attach user. So create message, and let me see. Body is going to be message text, and username is going to be the user dot username, right? Don't know what the heck is up with this weird spacing, but yeah. So we save the item, and then when we get those when we have that saved item, we're going to, let's get messages. Hold on. Oh, I copied the wrong one. Okay, so create message. I'm moving too fast. All right, so we don't need this. What we need is the query. Like this. All right, so then we have items. Self.messages is equal to items, like that. Dispatch queue main async, like that. All right, so when we get the messages, we're populating that. When we create a message, we are using the username. That looks good. We can go back over to the chat app. We can say what we'll do is we have the messages view, which now needs to be created with a current user, like that. So that works. We need to call, so on the navigation view on appear, we're going to perform view model dot attach user, current user. That will pass it into our view model. We also need to get the messages, so view model dot get messages. I don't think I'm gonna be able to make it, guys. Where are we at on time? 40 minutes? Oh man. We're not gonna make it. We're not gonna make it. I want to see how. Oh, okay. So like, if we could do 2 apps, then I guess I'm already disappointed. View model user. So then what we need to do is we need to have the messages displayed. So and you know what? Since we're already messed up, let's actually add a creation date, because I need to make sure that they are sorted by creation date. So what we'll do is we'll go back over here and we're gonna update the creation date, and this will be an AWS date time, and it is required. And I think that's it. And now I think if we just do the same poll, but just to be safe, I'm gonna copy it from right there. So I want to update the chatty. I want to update each message to have a timestamp so that we can make sure that when we create a message, it actually is going to be sorted, or when we query the messages, they're going to be sorted by the creation date. So creation date is going to be, let's see if this is already updated or not. Creation date, yeah, it is. Okay, so we need to do temporal time. Temporal dot date time, date, like that. And the indenting is all weird. Let's fix that too. All right, so we have that. We're creating that, and then once we do it, let's just go ahead and we'll get messages again. Get messages again, and we're gonna sort and I think we want to do, what is it, descending, message dot keys dot creation date. I think descending is what we want. I've always been really bad about ascending and descending, so We'll see what happens. So that gets our messages. We're able to create the messages. What's going on here? Oh, we need to call self. And there are much better ways to do this, but time constraints, right? Okay, we attached the user. We got the, okay, so now we just need to build out the UI. So we have the VStack. We have the message. So let's go ahead and say we'll do a HStack. And if current user dot username is equal to message dot author username. So if the message is from us, then we want to have a spacer. If current username is not equal to us, essentially, author username, then we want to have a spacer here. And what we'll do is we'll put the content in the middle, and that will push the message from the correct side. Then what we'll do is we need to put some text. So text is going to be the message dot body, and we're actually going to make this a VStack just so that we can show who it's from, I think, right? Do we want to do that? Nah, we don't need, yeah, we do, because it's a global thing. So then we're gonna have the message.body, we're gonna have the text dot message.author username, and this is going to be, font is going to be a footnote. We just want it to be small, and then this will be normal size. But what we want to do is we want to add padding. We want to add a foreground color of, let's say, let's see. Let's do it like this. So let is message from current user, and we'll just replace that. Is message from current user. I think this should work. Maybe, maybe not, who knows? Okay. All right, assuming that it's going to work, well, let's see if it builds. If it doesn't, then I may need to add the view builder here. Not sure if it's gonna work, and it's taking some time. Okay, so let's assume that it does work. Is message from current user. If it is, we want the foreground to be black. If not, we want it to be white. Then for the background, I don't think this is gonna work. Oh, it did work. Okay, cool. So it was just because I was typing stuff. So is message from current user. If it is from the current user, then our background is going to be gray. Come on, color.gray. And if not, it's going to be color.blue. There we go. All right, so then is message from current user. All right, so then that's going to push it. We have the color coding, and then we'll do corner radius. It's going away. It does not like us. All right. Oh well. So let's just assume that this works. So we have our VStack, we have our scroll view. Then what we need to do is we need to have the input view, which is going to be a text field, which is going to take in a placeholder, enter a message, and then some type of text. And then we have our view. We're going to bind view model dot message text. Okay. Message text. And I think that's all we really need to do there. All we want to do is we want to add some padding like that. We want to add a background, or we want to add a background color, and this will be system background system secondary. I think it's secondary system. There we go. I think this might work. We need a button as well, so this needs to be an H stack. Button that says send, and the action is going to be a view model dot create message. I think we might be able to get functionality out of that. Where are we at on time? 50 minutes. Bummer. I tried. I did try though. It's been like almost non-stop typing. And of course it's trying to run on my iPhone. Oh boy. Let me think. Is that it? So, best case scenario, I'm only able to build 2 apps in less than an hour. I thought I could do 3. Silly me. It's a little bit more complex than that, right? The functionality is not optimized whatsoever. And this was all off the top of my head, so I think that's pretty decent. As soon as we get this functionality, I'm going to cut it right there. So, assuming that you can actually log in, we'll see what happens there. Okay, we have a login form right here. So, username is going to be Kilo Loco. We log in. We provided the user. We get our messages. We're seeing the input field. Hello world. Classic. Send. Oh, okay, so it's there. Yes, but a couple of things. First, we need to change the alignment of this. What is this, a VStack? Okay, hold on. H stack, V stack right here. Alignment is message from current user. The alignment will be trailing, also be leading. Does that work? Yeah. Okay, so that should work. We need to erase the text once we send it. So when we create a message, we need to do self.message text is equal to that. And what else? Is that it? Oh, we put it in a navigation view. Let's go ahead and add navigation view, no, it has to be on the lower one. I hate SwiftUI in this respect. Dot navigation title, and then we'll just say messages. All right, let's try this again. Now, if I sign in as a different name, Mr. Smooth, I see that the messages are over here. Let's go ahead and add a little bit of horizontal padding to our scroll view. Padding dot horizontal, like that. But it looks pretty good. Then we add a new message. Hey friend. So friendly. Hey friend. Nah. Let's keep it realistic on the internet. I hate your guts. Cause you know internet be like that sometimes. Alright, so I think that I have it in the opposite order because don't talk to me. As you can see, they're going the opposite way. So what I actually want is ascending, I think. So let's go ahead and try that. And then we'll log back in as Kilo Loco, like that. And now you can see Kilo Loco's on this side. Why you gotta be so rude? Haha. Like that. Cool. Now let's keep adding 1, 2, 3. That's not 3. 4, 5, 6. All right. So as you can see, it's not scrolling down. So one way to fix that, and I actually might need to change it again, the ascending, descending thing. But essentially what we want to do is we want to Mr. Smooth. Okay, so essentially what we want to do is we want to have like them in reverse. So one way that we can do that, I think is, yes, we need to change this back to descending. But what we'll do is we'll actually rotate the scroll view. What is it? Rotation effect, and then degrees and 180, like that. So that'll rotate the scroll view. And then if I rotate the actual view that's showing the text, this H stack, rotation effect, right, dot degrees 180. I think that should work. Let's see if it works. So we should start at the bottom. We'll sign back in as Kilo Loco. And as you can see, it starts at the bottom and then we can scroll up like that. So it works. And let's see if we add another new message. And as you can see, bam, pushes it up. So that's all I could do. It wasn't 3 apps, but it was 2, and it was all SwiftUI. It was all off the top of my head, and the functionality is actually there. Now, I really wanted to get that third one in, but you know, it is what it is. I wanted to keep it to an hour. Right now, we're already at 57 minutes. So this video is long enough. I'm going to cut it right there. I really appreciate your time. If you want me to build out the New Year's resolution app and maybe do a speed run on that, or maybe it doesn't even have to be a speed run. Like I could do something like a little bit more in depth, then let me know. Or if there's any other app ideas that you think would be pretty cool to implement, then let me know about those. And, you know, I'll consider doing a speed run or even maybe make a 24-hour clone of an app. So I'm planning on trying to do some things that are a little bit more fun as opposed to just tutorials. And then if you guys really want a tutorial, then I'll just put out the tutorial on something. But that's going to be it for today. I really appreciate your time. Now go out there and keep coding passionately.